A lot of the data you will work with will come in the form of spreadsheets. So it is important to know how to prepare your spreadsheet data for use in GIS. There are three main goals in this process. One is to simplify the data. Two is to focus on what you want to display, analyze, and thematically map. And three is to optimize the spreadsheet so that you can import it into ArcGIS Pro. In this lesson, we are going to look at the process of preparing spreadsheet data ready for importation into ArcGIS Pro. Spreadsheet data usually comes with many columns of unneeded information. Three key decisions that you need to make at the start of your join process are: what information in this spreadsheet is necessary for my end goal? How will I use it in ArcGIS Pro? And is it available within the information in the spreadsheet I have, or do I have to derive it? So the answer to the first question is, we want to display population figures from 2014 to 2016. That information is contained within the spreadsheet. The second is, how am I going to use it in ArcGIS Pro? Well, we are going to be joining it to a shapefile of administrative boundaries. So we know the operation that we are going to perform. Therefore, we know how we need to optimize the spreadsheet data so that it is ready to be used in the operation we need it for. And the third is this information available within the spreadsheet, or do I have to do any extra processing on the spreadsheet to derive it? As it stands, the data we need within the spreadsheet suits our purposes, so we do not have to do any extra derivation. Now, looking at this spreadsheet, we can see that there's some information in the top row, which is good metadata to include in the description of the final spreadsheet. However, it doesn't have any value when it comes to displaying and mapping the data in ArcGIS Pro. So the first thing we're going to do is to delete that data. We will also do this for any other rows and columns with unnecessary data that we deem is not needed for our final mapping process. The next thing you want to do is to make sure that there are no empty rows between the heading column and the first row of data. This is necessary because it will return an error when you try and import the spreadsheet into ArcGIS Pro. You then go on to format the column headings by shortening or extending them as necessary. You need to make sure that there are no spaces between the words. Instead, separate each word with an underscore. Also note that you cannot have non-alphabetic characters like commas, backslashes, etc. in the column names. This is best practice, as if your data is to be used widely, earlier versions of GIS do not support any of those functions, and users who use earlier versions of ArcGIS may struggle to import the data that you provide. Now, since we are using the data to perform a join operation, we need to identify the column we will base the join on and format it to match the data it will be joined to. In this case, I have pre-identified that the case needs to be changed from capitalized to sentence case. You then go on to make sure that you convert any formulas into real numbers, as ArcGIS Pro does not support formulas within tables. Also, remove any rows that have an aggregated total. This is necessary as the value gets imported like all other data records and can lead to inaccurate results in your analysis. If you want to perform any calculations, perform these calculations within ArcGIS Pro using the geo-processing tools after your data has been successfully imported. Finally, save your spreadsheet in CSV format if it is not already in that format. You can also save as an Excel format, but note that ArcGIS Pro only allows you to import a single Excel sheet and not the whole workbook. So make sure that if you have a range of different data, that all your sheets have unique names, and save each one of them as a separate Excel workbook. However, to circumvent this process, save as a CSV file from within Excel, and you will be prompted to save only the existing sheet as a CSV file.